Yeah, I think we're ready for takeoff already.
Alright, yeah, I'm ready whenever.
Okay, I'm gonna count down.
Alright.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Alright. So, hello. This is I Wanna Be the Pastel, which is a game maybe not a lot of people will have seen. It's kind of underplayed and underappreciated, I'd say. It's really good though. I also have Shark here helping me commentate.
For moral support, because this game is kind of nasty.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll need it. I am also dropping some frames, which is perfect. I was really hoping I would today. So, I'm happy to let you all know. Alright.
Wolfi, I want you to know the timer was on, like, at least a minute before you went into the portal, so you're already so behind. You have to catch up.
Man,
What do you
okay. I'm sure we'll manage. I'm sure we'll manage. If not, then we'll see what happens.
My estimate.
Alright, so this game, it starts off where you can take one of 3 paths. I take the bottom path because it's the hardest one, and it's also my least favorite, so I get out of the way early. Some of the jumps are pretty tricky. But as soon as you get past the bottom path, it should be smooth sailing for a bit.
Is that platform jump something annoying like the required 16 frame? Because it looks really specific.
Yeah, I don't know what it is exactly, but it's something like that. Whatever it is, it's more precise than it should be. Alright, so...
Not to mention, re-jumping.
Yeah, and that. So, in each path there are 2 portals, and they each lead to these sort of gimmicky areas. And the first one we're going to do is the Halloween kind of segment, where I become a witch and ride a broomstick for a bit. I can,
Is this the inspiration for your witches needle games, Wolfi?
No, but close. I can control a broomstick by pressing up and down. It's sort of like it's separate from the kid, so I can control the kid and use my up and down to move the broomstick at the same time. So I can move down whilst I'm off the broomstick. And this part is actually kind of tricky, so hopefully we can get it first try. Alright. And the actual platforming, I guess if you call that platforming, segment of this stage is fairly short. It goes straight out to 2 little bosses, both of which are fairly difficult. The idea is, if you can kill this boss fast, then it will go well. If you let it last too long, it's not going to be good. So we're going to try and beat this fast. Deaths will probably happen because... The reason I usually do this first in a run is because it's the route where I'm most likely to die on a boss multiple times. So, in a bad run I can just reset. That's fine. You can't do that in a marathon though. So... We just gotta hope...
You can, it's just not recommended.
Yeah, I could, but I don't think that would work in my favor. Put it that way. So, in this fight there are various different types of bullets, and they all do different things, and I'm pretty sure that none of them are coded to the actual sprite. So orange cherries don't always do the same thing, and the blue orbs don't always do the same thing. Which makes it kind of hard to read sometimes. And the end's always kind of scary. So I'm gonna wait. Yeah, I'm hoping my frames pull it together. I can't really do much about it though, I'm afraid.
It's a lot better than it was on the title screen.
Alright, that's good.
It's actually very watchable. There was just a brief issue where the first minute of the run or so was teleporting and the timer was early.
Good. Good start. Alright, so this boss is probably the easier of the 2, until the halfway point of the fight, where she spawns a giant wave of bullets that gets steadily further and further towards you, which is this thing. And this is kind of fine, but in combination with that attack that I just got, it can be really brutal. So I'm hoping we sort of get some decent RNG. And we might be able to manage. Like so. Like, not so. Shark, you remember when... Do you remember that death on the Winky Man a while ago when I walked off into the portal, but missed it? Same!
Relatable.
Yeah, relatable. Good. The good times. Alright, so I just like this boss so much that I'm doing it a second time. I hope you guys appreciate this.
You know who likes the boss even more than you?
Who?
The viewers who are giving a second time.
Exactly. I'm doing it for everyone. Alright, this actually looks pretty rough. Yeah. So I was kind of hoping the RNG wouldn't be too bad. Alright, I'm sure we'll get it sooner or later. The worst boss is yet to come, so regardless of how bad this goes, there's still another one around the corner that she would drive me up the wall a little bit.
I bet the Fangame police are gonna come after you. They're going to accuse you of throwing because we're ahead of schedule and need some filler.
Yeah, I'm trying to fix the
This is our
schedule.
filler content right here.
I've only got
we came in
Fangame
like
Marathon in
15
mind.
minutes ahead.
Okay then. Alright, don't miss the portal this time. Good. Excellent. Dude, Shark, I got it. Are you proud?
The excellent sounded so fake that I wasn't really sure if you landed in the portal or not.
No, I got it. With some kind of sketchy dodges. Alright, so
I'm
this
proud
part,
of you, Wolfi.
this is the worst part of the game. There's no, like, beating around the bush. It's a lot of full jumps that are overly precise, and that's it. Basically.
I, for one, like staircases.
I like staircases, but I don't really like this staircase. Not too much, at least. This always takes a little bit of time. It's because the timing is a bit precise.
On a scale from my favorite to absolutely my favorite, how much do you like the upcoming boss?
Yes. Exactly, Shark. Words don't need any, you know. That will all be completed soon.
Only staring into its eyes and accepting its love into your life is needed.
Exactly. That's what I do every run. Alright, so this part's actually pretty cool compared to the tower climb a moment ago. But unfortunately it doesn't last very long. And now we have what I call the Winky Man. Because he winks, and he shoots things that have faces, and overall it's kind of a bit of a mess. But it's kind of fun. And also, probably the hardest boss in the game. You'll see why in a moment. But when he reaches half HP, the fight gets a bit harder. Because these things spawn, and if you shoot any... Hang on, this looks kind of like nasty. If you shoot any of these things, they come towards you. So you can't just spam shoot, you gotta be careful with your shots, like I wasn't there.
Wolfi? Is he just winking
Yep.
because he's trying very difficult to hold in his immense power though? His power
I
level's
think
too
so.
high.
But his
That's
power
him
wasn't good
streaming.
enough, because we just destroyed that guy. Finally. There is very rare occasions where I actually first try that guy. Feels good, man. Alright, so with that we've done the bottom path. And we've collected the 2 Chaos Emeralds, so we can go off to the right path now. Which also means backtracking through this little part of slightly awkward needle. The needle in this game is not easy. There are some pretty precise jumps, especially later on. Ah, missed that one by a bit. Ha! I gotta say, I'm really glad that Winky Man died fast, because I have runs where I get stuck on that guy for like 5 minutes, and it just isn't pretty. So, that's a relief.
Now you get to go to good stages.
Yes, now the really, really good parts of the game can begin. Alright, so, again, each transition, like with the little needle stage, is usually pretty tricky. Like that part's a frame perfect turnaround. There's some this way you gotta get on the very tip of the block. It's not free, but with practice it's not too bad. But we're coming up to probably some of my favourite parts of the game. So if there's ever a time for my frames to get themselves together, it will be now. Right after this screen. Alright. So, that's our save. This is the, what I call the Waddle Dee co-op section. There are 3 challenges I gotta do. So, the gist of it is that I can deflect blue cherries, but they hurt the Waddle Dee. And he can deflect yellow cherries, but they kill me. So we gotta work together. Look out for each other. Which is a bit hard sometimes, because you can kinda get... you can get, like, cherries that you need to protect from, like, 2 completely different directions, which is really kinda hard. This is arguably the hardest of the 3. Or at least the first part of this is.
Who's more skilled at this game? Is it Wolfi or is it the Waddle Dee?
I would say the Waddle Dee. He deflects more cherries on average than I do.
Also, I think he dies less.
I don't know. That one I'm not so sure about. But maybe. See, you can see it gets kind of awkward sometimes when you get cyan cherries sort of right on top of the yellow cherry. It can be pretty hard to differentiate the 2. Usually get some really, really tight dodges as a result.
What is the Waddle Dee so excitedly running towards? What does he see in the distance?
That's a good question. Oh, I clipped him. I think there's a gem at the end. Oh, there's a switch. There's something. Something beneficial.
Home-baked cookies.
Yeah, let's go with that. That sounds good to me.
That's what he's willing to risk his life for. I mean, I am too, personally, so...
Damn. So RNG is pretty rough. Getting lots of yellows in awkward places. It's worth mentioning, this is actually really quite hard. These 3 challenges. This is not an easy game, for sure. There's some deceptively hard parts. But the fun design makes up for it, I'd say. No way! Very, very end. There are 3 challenges in this area. This is probably the hardest for me, in terms of consistency. So we'll hope the other 2 go a little better than this. Alright. This spot's my favorite one, because it almost feels like a rhythm game. So this one you just have to survive until you make it to the end, whilst only jumping in the cyan gaps, which makes it pretty hard, especially if you get some nasty RNG by getting like 10 yellows in a row.
Is that the ship from Final Fantasy X or some noise?
I think it is. For the longest time I thought it was from Final Fantasy VI, but it looks too HD for that.
I would claim to know that because of game knowledge, but let's be real, someone told me.
Alright, nice. And then the final part is a true co-op battle with this dragon. This is one that can really, like, give you some nasty RNG if you get a cyan inside of the yellow. We will hope that doesn't happen though. That was kind of close though. For the main part you just want to kind of hope. And the Waddle Dee can do a lot of the damage to this guy, so as long as he survives, you're usually fine. Make sure he won't die. I'm gonna try to finish him. Okay. So the second half of this stage, sour please, by the way. I have to control the Waddle Dee by moving into the right and left zones to carry him through the little area. For the most part this is fairly easy, but there's one part which is coming up that's pretty tricky because it's RNG reliant. At least, kind of.
Does the Waddle Dee have unwavering trust in your ability, or is he just
does,
not the
he
brightest
does.
bulb?
No, he believes in me 100%, and he shouldn't, because I just killed him, but... it's...
You've disappointed me, but more importantly, you've disappointed Waddle Dee.
I think he can handle a bit of disappointment. He understands. At least I'd like to think. Also, I just noticed the arrows on the bottom disappear for this stage. I don't know why. Only just noticed that. Alright, so this part is RNG. And you might be able to imagine how kind of RNG reliant this part can be at times. You can definitely clutch it, but the thing is, the longer you wait, the more cherries there are in the bottom area, which makes it harder to maneuver. Yeah, I mean, this is rough. Never lucky, feels bad, man. Like, sometimes you can get here, and you can just stand in the blue, and he'll just walk to the end, you're in, like, no danger the entire time. I was hoping for one of those. Okay, this one should make it, unless I die. Yeah, I'm fine. Okay, this part the timing's a bit precise near the end. I've messed this up. You need to make him turn around at the very, very tip of the spikes, otherwise you can't make it to the portal in time. That should be fine. I'd like to think. Yeah, we got it. Alright, so the female pharaoh, as I'd call it. Happy song. Happy music. So I gotta control the Waddle Dee whilst also shooting her, and only her. If I shoot an octopus, octopi, a giant ring of cherries fires out and will kill the Waddle Dee, so I've got to be really careful where I fire. Which is important. Oof. See, I shot one there, but thankfully I killed her at the same time. So it sort of evened out. And that's the right path. The gimmicks in the right path are really, really fun. Right. Yeah.
I do love how creative this game is.
Yeah, behind like the... Like, you can tell like it's somewhat old because the production value of some parts is kind of weak, but in terms of its creativity, it's really, really strong. Especially coming up in the next stage. Ah, damn it. Usually don't mess up that jump. Make sure we take that a line. Okay. On to the third stage. Hopefully these jumps go okay. These have a tendency to take a bit of time on bad days. I was never sure if bonking these gave you a good V-string, but I usually do anyway. I'd hope. Whether it actually helps or not, I have no idea. Maybe a pixologist can help me out with that. Alright, so this is my favorite stage in the game. You might recognize it from C2. So the idea is, when I shoot a green spike, it fires green blocks. These green blocks allow anything to pass through them, which lets me go through blocks and also other objects. And obviously firing blue spikes shoots off a water block.
So, if you don't follow the green block, do you get stuck inside the block and have to reset?
Yep. I actually just did it there on the first attempt. Got stuck. And shooting the black spikes just makes them.
Explains the commentary.
What, sorry?
I was just being a sassy. I was saying
No, I like hearing
explained my
sass.
commentary for me. And then you made me explain to you that I was being a jerk.
I didn't hear. The music in this game is kind of imbalanced. It's really, really loud. Alright. But yeah, this spot is like super cool. I failed a diagonal twice. Feels good, man. Alright. I think it's this screen that's in Culture 2, although I could be wrong. Oh. There's a button for this, I think. You. Thank God.
You soft lock yourself for a
Yeah.
second there?
So there's a soft lock. You can soft lock in this, but thankfully, as you emit it, so that if you do, you can press a button that kind of... I don't really know how it works, but it just unshuffles you a bit.
Okay, Wolfi soft lock, run over, reset. Behind schedule now.
I got that in a run once, and I was like, oh, that was a good run too. But yeah, thankfully you can unsoft lock. It's alright, crisis averted. Alright, so this part is one of the harder parts of the game. Essentially a target practice. You have to shoot 36 out of the 45 targets. And you have a bullet cap, you can only have one bullet on time, on screen at any time. So you have to be really careful with your bullets. And you might think, oh, well, you can miss 9. Well, you really kinda can't. In fact, I'm gonna reset there, because I missed 3 already. There's like a huge influx of targets at the very end, and there's no way you can hit them all. So the precision of this segment allows enough room for error to miss around 2 targets, which will be usually at the end. Nice. Should be it. Even got the double. Very good. Alright. Now we have a trap stage. The triggers and...
My favorite.
Yeah, it's good. Bet stonks are it too. Column block. Alright, so I'm gonna hopefully remember all of these. There's like one trap actually, it's pretty precise on the next screen that I was practicing a bit the last few days. Hopefully...
The horizontal one?
It's the one where you like drop down, but like it's kind of precise the time, you need to like bonk. There's also this one at the bottom right.
No.
Lemon Reaper actually found a really cool strat for this the other day. I didn't do it there, but it allows you to skip one of the triggers, which makes it go by a lot faster. Alright, so this save is tough. Hopefully we can get it fast. Nice, okay.
I usually don't like traps myself, but I love the clever use of the traps. It's so elaborate, honestly.
Yeah, they're pretty clever.
You go from angry to just laughing because it's just that cheeky.
Yeah. Nah, these sideways spike things are pretty hard. Because there's no block to land on, it's more precise than your average sideways get. Oh. Okay.
That was to get your entire body through.
Yeah, pretty much. That was a pretty decent trap stage, to be honest. I'm happy with that. Went well.
It was quite fast.
Oh yeah, there was a jump scare there as well. But that's the only one, so don't worry about it. That's the only one. It's fine. Alright, so that's all 3 paths down. Now we can head back to the beginning. See if we can do that. And go to the final stage. Grand finale. Yeah, some of the triggers are really clever. Alright. Final stage is primarily needle with some traps and triggers. So I'm gonna hope it goes well. There are some tricky jumps. Seeing a lot of what face in chat, I'm sorry.
The reaction's so good.
Alright.
But that's the only jump scare, right?
Yeah,
The only
don't worry,
one?
but that's the only one, I'm not lying to you. I wouldn't
Okay,
lie.
there's more.
Ah, that jump's pretty tricky. You gotta retime and double jump. A pretty precise frame. This entire save is hard, actually. Deceptively. Oof, that was close. I thought I missed the frame. Yeah, I think Zuzu fell to that one a while ago, infamously. So there's a hidden block up here on the save that I'm gonna jump over. So you may never get to see it, I apologize. And here, God bless consoles.
You mean
couldn't-
jump cheating?
Yes, jump cheating. If it wasn't for jump cheating, I don't know how I do that one. Just consistently. Ah, I missed the platform. This save is pretty tricky. Just because that part's hard. Yeah, and I often mistime that as well. And then there's like 2 drop T-bones. Probably one of the hardest saves, to be honest. Ah, damn it. Missed it just by a bit. Alright, we got it second time. That save has caused trouble in runs before. I've lost at least a couple of runs to that save, just because the T-bones never go well. Ah, dude, the gates are too strong for me today. Haven't had much luck with gates lately, I gotta say. This save is cool. It always feels fun to pull off. That's the nature of this stage, actually. It's just, it feels fun when you've done it a few times. It's really satisfying. Alright, so I think this is the second to last screen of the stage. The jump at the top left, in particular, is kind of tricky. Everything else is kind of fine, so hopefully that'll be okay. Some pretty precise water grabs. Okay. So this is a frame perfect turnaround from standing on the very, very edge of that block. Thankfully, it didn't take too long. Oh, what? Oops. Yeah, so the top left is the entrance to the final boss. Get excited.
PogChamp.
Yeah, that's
I'm
the spirit. I knew you'd be excited, Shark. I can always count on you.
You can hear it in my voice, which is just positively floating in the sky right now. I'm
Yeah.
still asleep, I think. I think I'm still
Maybe.
talking.
Maybe.
Maybe I never woke up.
Maybe. Maybe you've overslept and I'm doing my run without a commentator.
Darn, I better go wake myself up then.
And yeah, Peace, the triggers in this game are really creative. It makes them really fun to pull off. Alright, so this save's actually pretty hard because of that jump. Thankfully we got it before too long.
Actually, getting
consoles
past most of the
again.
hard sticking points pretty quickly. I like this run.
Yeah, I had a rocky
What's
start,
your
but
PB in this
getting
game?
better. My PB in this game is like 26 minutes. I had a somewhat higher
that
estimate.
one was insane.
There's a couple of bosses that can go badly. That's why I had a slightly higher estimate.
Winky Man.
Alright, so this boss
Right.
is a throwback to all of the gimmicks in the game. So we got the target practice. Also worth noting, we can't shoot the Waddle Dee, otherwise we can't get over the gap. It's he's the one spawning the attacks. And one of the attacks is going to be the only way we can get over. Alright. Winky Man throwbacks.
Please tell me to time correct one.
Yeah, time is going to be coming up shortly after this fight, after I leave the screen transition. I'll say when. Alright, this attack can be kind of hard if you get a yellow inside of a cyan cherry. Thankfully we didn't. Okay, so we need these to get across. Alright. Time is coming up as soon as I exit the screen. And time. And that is, I want to be...
Might look like we... Thanks for the run, Wolfi.
Yeah.
Really amazing to speedrun such a hard game and RNG relay.
It's a great game. More people should play it.
We split a bit early because I've split it early at the beginning.
Alright,
based on his audio cue. That's why we now have the correct time.
Cool. Alright, what was the final time, sorry?
It's 30 minutes, 36 seconds.
That's not too bad. I'm actually pretty happy with that. Had a bit of a rough start.
Pretty good time.
But it came together later on. Yeah, I did lead him to safety MQ, but he's at the end of this credit scene, so it's fine. That was a fake. That was the evil Waddle Dee.